My name is Jillian, and this is Jillian Camps Arizona, and today we're going to be talking about the pros and cons of the new versus my old Sportbrella. Yes, I have bought yet another one of these because the old one has some pretty bad features that I want to talk about today, starting with, I don't know if you can see that there. I'm going to block my face so that it focuses the camera. Anyway, so you can see there that this has a plastic tip that just goes into the ground, and you basically do that by just shoving it, into the ground. There's no you can try and wiggle the whole umbrella back and forth, etc. But there's a major upgrade with the new one here, and you can see that the screw that goes into the ground is significantly different than the old version. And you can see side by side here. Look at how little that thing is, and it's fully attached to the umbrella, right? It does not slip out or you can't pull it apart, whereas this is a completely separate piece where you shove this into the ground first, you screw it into the ground like so, and then you stick the umbrella on it. It slips into the, the plastic piece on the other side. So this to me was well worth the upgrade. I ended up buying the new umbrella here at Sam's Club. I saw it and I saw all the new features on it and I was so excited. So I had to buy a new one. And the new one was only $40 as compared to the old one, which I had bought when this first came out for about $50. This umbrella is great. And it's worked awesome in, high wind situations, etc. But I think it's time for it to be retired. Some of the other differences are mainly minor, right? So with this, you can see that the tip of the old one is largely plastic, or it's metal actually. So this has a little metal tip and it has some ripstop fabric up here protecting it. Whereas the new one, you can see, has a plastic tip with some ripstop fabric, but it's a plastic tip on the top here. And there's no ring if you wanted to take it out, dry it off, and or hose it off when you got home, right? Like the old one. So you can see the differences there in the two tips itself, if that makes sense. And then, I don't know, the only other thing I wanted to make a note of was it's actually a lot easier to put up the new one because of the fact that it comes in two pieces, right? It comes in the umbrella and it has the stake that you screw into the ground, which you just stick on the umbrella after you're done. And it has, the new one can angle the umbrella better. It's got a little angling feature. I don't know if I can show you. No, I can't because it's not open. But anyways, it's got an angling feature where it's got a pivoting metal angler, so you can angle the umbrella appropriately into the sand or whatever you're, wherever you're putting it, hopefully sand. But yeah, otherwise, the old one worked great, and it was a new thing that had just come out, and it was all the rage and people were so excited to have one of these. And it was a consumer umbrella when it first came out, and it was marketed as something that a family could buy, right? This is a 9-foot umbrella. It easily fits me and my dog, etc. And the new one does exactly the same thing, The umbrella part actually works great. So the only reason why I bought the new one, honestly, is for the new features, right? And I've shown this too in the other video where there are some differences, in the stakes as well. Or no, have I shown that? Let me show that. So the only other differences are between the stakes, as you saw for the old stakes. Block out my face so that it focuses. So here's what one of the old stakes looks like. And you can see that it's pretty bent, right? It's all bent up here. And that's my only problem with these stakes. It doesn't matter between the new stakes, the old stakes, they look the same. The only difference is now we put a little plastic cap on the top here. So, it's a plastic gray cap. I don't know if you can see that. But the stakes look exactly the same. So I expect that they will bend just as easily as these other ones, right? I mean, I go to a sandy beach, but the sand is, you know, sometimes it's hard packed or it's a little harder. So we'll have to see, I guess, you know, basically. So that was the only differences, pros and cons to the new versus the old tent. I just wanted to show it inside because sometimes it's really hard to film, especially with the umbrellas because it's so windy at the campground that I go to. The wind just kind of takes them and blows them away and it's hard to set them up. So I just thought I would film some of that indoors in order to show you what the differences are between the new and the old one. So that's pretty much all I wanted to do today. So thank you so much for joining me on this Jillian Camps Arizona video. Feel free to thumbs up this content if you liked it and you want to see more like it. Also, if you're not currently following me and you want to follow me around, feel free to hit that subscribe button below. Or you can like my page on Facebook or on Instagram. That's at Jillian Camps Arizona. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.